You basic.
Subscribe.
Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. So just a bit of a disclaimer, I'm not that good at voiceovers, so just bear with me. First you want to start with marking your hoodie where you want to crop it at, and then you want to start cutting it. But when you're cutting it, make sure you add space for seam allowance, because you are going to have to sew. Don't worry, because this was my first time using my sewing machine. I've had it since I was like 13 and never used the shit. But it was actually pretty easy. So if you're stressing about sewing, you can hand sew. Or I've also saw people glue it with hot glue, but I don't know if that's going to last in a washer. So now you want to measure out your elastic band and make sure it fits across. Having extra space at the end is fine. And now I'm just measuring the width of it just to see like how thick I'm going to have to sew. And then once you get that figured out, you can take your pins and start to pin it down. And pinning it down will just help with making sure that you're sewing in a straight line. But like I said, you can always hand sew, or I've seen people do hot glue. I don't really know how that's going to work out. You just got to kind of do what you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable using a sewing machine, then I don't know, girl. I don't know. But you want to pin it down. And I think the hardest part about using my sewing machine was sewing in a straight line. And these pins do help a little bit. But if your lines are crooked, I guess it really doesn't matter, because once you put the elastic band in, you can't see anything. Like, you can't see what was sewn or not. So after sewing it, you can't see the thread because I used white thread. I left like a little bit of space. You'll see. I don't know. A little bit of space right there where I didn't sew at all. And that's where I'm going to start like threading my elastic band through. And for this, you want to get like a clip, a bobby pin, a needle, something. I was on a struggle bus because I don't have bobby pins. Y'all know I'm bald, so I don't have no type of bobby pins, no type of clips. So I'm literally struggling with this fucking needle. And I ended up having to get like a wire and just threading it through with that. Honestly, this part was annoying as hell. Like, it was mad annoying. Like, this part alone probably took 8 minutes. It took longer than it took me to sew it, most definitely. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Overall, I'm happy with how it turned out because the hoodie was ugly. Now I'm just sewing on the elastic band, because you want to make sure both ends are connected, because if they're not connected, then obviously it's not going to like stretch or anything. So you want to make sure both ends of the elastic bands are connected, and then you'll have that awkward opening, so you'll have to go back through and sew it. I think I hand sewed it back together, honestly. So this is how it should look if you're following along. This is how your hoodie should look at this point. I'm taking the pieces that I cut off prior to, and I'm going to use those drawstrings because my hoodie is droopy. It doesn't have a drawstring in it, and I don't like that at all. So I'm going to have to actually sew on the hoodie because, you know, when you have a hoodie with drawstrings, it's like a little, it's hard to explain. It's like thread around the hoodie to keep the drawstrings from like falling through the rest of the hoodie, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So I'm putting pins down just to help me with like sewing in a straight line. And this part, you don't have to do it. It's really up to you. 9 times out of 10, you probably have a hoodie with drawstrings. It's sewn. You can't tell because I used white thread. Now I'm going to cut holes where I want the strings to go through. And I really wish I had those little round metal thingies. You know, the ones that go like on the fucking hoodies. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know what they're called. I don't think anyone knows the name of them, but I'm creating little holes right there and making sure that they're the same size. Honestly, it doesn't really matter because I'm probably going to keep the drawstrings tied when I have the hoodie on because I just like that look. And again, this annoying threading situation, I didn't need a needle or anything for this because the drawstring already has metal at the end. How many times did I say drawstring in this fucking video? And I hope that is the right word for what I'm using. Like, that would be so embarrassing, but whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But I'm threading that through, and once you finally get it through the end, this is how it should look. See, that was easy, and I know this tutorial is something y'all can pull off, so go ahead and do that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye.